Hello again, everyone. So I'm Kelly Dean from Ottawa Tourism. And again, thank you for attending our Virtually Ottawa event. So for those of you in our virtual networking session, you will be able to continue to interact through the chat feature. So if you go under the chat feature, you can talk to people at your table, you can talk to the whole room, where you can find someone specific and send them a chat. Now remember to post your questions that our guests can answer at the end of our talk. Please use the Q&A feature, and you'll also find that bundled there with the chat. So now I want to introduce you to our guest, Elizabeth Manley. Elizabeth has competed for 40 years in both amateur and professional figure skating. She's an Olympic silver medalist at the Calgary '88 Olympics and an Olympic freestyle champion and two-time Olympian. She's participated in 6 world champions and won 3 national titles. Since her retirement from amateur competition, Elizabeth was awarded the Order of Canada. She's the author of 2 autobiographies and has starred in television specials. Is a sports commentator working for NBC and CTV at Olympic Games, and a blogger for CBC. And if that's not enough, Elizabeth is a member of the Canadian Olympic Hall of Fame, Canada's Sports Hall of Fame, Ottawa's Sports Hall of Fame, and the Skate Canada Hall of Fame. In 2015, she received one of the highest honors in Ottawa, the Team Builders Award from United Way, which recognized her continuous contributions and work in the community for her charitable work. As well, in 2020, she received the Inspiration Award from the Royal Ottawa for her continued work and support towards mental health. Today, she's a certified life executive coach and helps many through the struggles of life and careers. And here is Elizabeth Manley.
Thank you so much, Kelly, and hello, everyone. Welcome to our new world. You're in my living room. I am so honored to be here, and when I got the call to come and speak to you, absolutely, because I've always considered myself Ottawa's girl, and it's such a pleasure to talk to you. And we don't have a lot of time, but I really wanted to start a little bit about what we're all going through. This is the new world. This has been a very difficult, tough time for everyone, especially in your business. And I know that, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of uncertainties of, how are we going to get back? How are you guys going to get back to what you guys do so well and everything? But being a life coach right now, I want to promise you, we are seeing light at the tunnel now. We're seeing it, and it's coming, and we're going to get back to normal. But as far as how you're feeling, worrying about losing clients or just getting motivated to get back out there again, I believe you will be able to. We've all gone through some really difficult emotional times during this lockdown and pandemic, and my heart goes out to anyone that has lost family members or loved ones or friends. I know I have, and it's been very difficult, but I want everyone to see that we're going to be okay. I try to look at things in a different perspective, and one of the ways I look at this whole pandemic thing is it kind of made us all slow down. It kind of made us just, figure out who we are, what our goals are, what we want to do, where we want to be. And, during this pandemic, I did that, and I came home. I came back to Ottawa. I was gone for a couple of years for a job, and one of the things was I had to come home. And, so I want you all to be very positive. Keep motivated. We're seeing that light. We're getting the vaccines out. Everything is going to be good. Stop watching the news. Okay. That is one of the best advice I can give everyone, is to stop watching the news right now, because, it changes every day, and we just have to have faith, and we have to have positiveness that it's going to happen. One of the things that I wanted to share with you a little bit about, because of mental health during this time and how people are feeling and overwhelmed and stressed and anxiety and things like that, I wanted to share a little bit about my story. And, I am an Ottawa girl, and I went through a very difficult time when I was a teenager. And when I say a difficult time, I, was at a very high level in a sport of very elite level of international world competing and everything at a very early age. And it took a toll on me. And when I say it took a toll on me, I literally completely fell apart. I was diagnosed with depression. I was diagnosed with anxiety. And at 16 years old, I was diagnosed as having a nervous breakdown. And when this was happening to me, and when I say I was diagnosed, the result of this was losing all my hair and gaining about 50 pounds of water retention. I physically completely broke down. And I was a young teenager that, you know, didn't know anything else but skating. It was my life. It was my passion. It was my love. And it was very, very interesting because in the 80s, the stigma of mental health was at its highest. And the lack of support and understanding of what I was going through was very difficult on my family. But I want to share with you that, and this may sound kind of cliche because we were talking about Ottawa, but Ottawa stepped in. Ottawa stepped in and did everything to help me to make my dreams come true. And one of the things that happened for me was somebody from Ottawa, an incredible psychologist, knew I didn't have a lot of money. My mother struggled to keep me in the sport, and he offered to work with me pro bono. And you have to understand at this time, I'm 16 years old. I have no hair. I've given up on my life. I've given up on skating. And I was that typical kid that really believed the world would be better without me. I thought I had let down the entire country. I thought I had let down my family, my coaches, my skating association. And that's a lot for a 16-year-old kid to have on their shoulders. And when this person reached out, I actually said no. Because when you're going through depression and you're going through some mental health issues, you really don't think anybody can help. And seeing the tears in my mother's eyes made me agree to go to one session. And one session turned into 10 sessions, turned into hundreds of sessions, turned into 4 years, and it turned into me going to the Calgary Olympics, which was my dream since a child. And not only just making it to the Olympics, but it was representing this city, Ottawa. It was being at Olympics in my home country, which every athlete dreams of having that opportunity. But I want to share with you a little bit about what Ottawa did for me. You know, I had a very roller coaster, you know, childhood growing up. Parents divorced. My father was Air Force. He moved to Europe. Brothers were all hockey players, off doing their thing. And it was a struggle for my mother to keep me in such an elite level of sport. And there wasn't sponsors in those days. You know, you see all these great athletes today on every TV commercial and getting all these sponsors and things like that. It wasn't like that in the 80s. We didn't even have computers in the 80s. It's hard to believe when I'm only 20 right now. But anyways, just joking. But it was a very, very difficult time. And why I'm so proud to be an Ottawa girl is because they came through for me in so many ways. They gave me free ice time when it was available, when hockey wasn't using it. They leased me a car so I could get myself to multiple rinks just to get an hour of ice. They would Zamboni and clean an area of Dow's Lake. So if I couldn't get into a rink, I could skate on the canal and I could actually train. There were so many wonderful memories of this city for me. And that was the kind of support that I needed during such a very difficult time with my mental health. And we all need that. And, you know, where I'm kind of going with this is that we need to understand that it's okay if we're going through something bad. You know, we shouldn't be afraid of it. We shouldn't be scared of it. And it's okay to reach out for help. And if I hadn't gotten that help or reached out for help, or made those calls and just said, I need to talk to somebody, I wouldn't be here today talking to you. And when I made that Olympic Games in Calgary, it was quite interesting because I was very sick. I had had a little bit of a difficult time 2 weeks prior to the Olympics. I got very sick. There was nothing I could do about it. And I remember before my long program, which was the final event of the games, they decided to have a meeting, and they were considering withdrawing me from the games because of how sick I was, the flu I had. There was an American girl that I was competing against that she actually withdrew after the first event. She had almost the same flu bug. And I remember we had a day off between the short and the free program. And I asked them for my day off before they made a decision to pull me out of the games. And I went through all these feelings about, once again, I was going to let people down. I was going to, you know, I was scared. It was like this was going to be my life. And the day of the practice of my day off, I went out on the ice, and I wanted to share the story with you because it's so powerful. In the middle of my session, the entire Olympic hockey team walked into my practice session. And that's pretty much every girl's dream. But I was so sick that it really didn't help much. But I remember going to my coach saying, "Why is the hockey team at my practice?" And he said, "I don't know, but can we focus?" And I literally was going to have to make the decision after this practice session if I was pulling out of the Olympic Games. My coach, after 20 minutes, you know, sweated me. I was skating really hard. He said, "Okay, you and I are going to go meet, and then we go up to the meeting with the Olympic Committee, and we have to make a decision. But I want you and I to talk alone first." So as I came off the ice, I saw the hockey team get up and leave, and they were going into a bus at the back of the rink. And the only person in the hallway as I came around the corner to go to the dressing room was the hockey coach, who I didn't know from Adam. And I figured I better say something to him. So I put my hand out and I said, "Hello, I'm Elizabeth Manley." And he laughed and he says, "I know who you are." And I said, Thank you. Thank you for coming to my practice session and supporting me. And I got to ask you though, why were you here?" And he looked at me and he said, "I've only got a minute." He said, "The team's waiting for me on the bus, but I want you to know that we were practicing next door and we play Russia tonight. And they weren't practicing that well. So I decided to pull them off the ice and come make them watch a champion." I was in such shock that I actually turned around to see if one of my other competitors were standing right there behind me. And he hit me, kind of patted me on the shoulder, and he said, "Good luck tomorrow, knock them dead." And he walked away. In that moment, nothing was going to stand in my way of competing on the next night. I didn't know him. It was the words I needed. It was a complete stranger just saying something to me right at the most pinnacle time of my life. And I remember I was bent over because I was trying to consume what I had just heard. And my coach came running to me with a garbage pail because he thought I was sick. And he said, as I stood up, he had never seen this look in my face. And he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Call the meeting off. I'm competing." And he said, "What just happened? What do you mean you're going to compete? Like, we haven't talked. We haven't, you know, you're very sick." And I said, "Nothing's going to stop me from doing this. Nothing's going to stop me from going out there." And 12 hours later, and I promised Kelly I would show everyone, but 12 hours later, this is what happened. And the reason I bring this out and I show people this medal is because it's a medal in life. This is a gold medal to my family. And when times are really difficult, just like we're going through right now, you have to find that inner strength. You have to believe that everything's going to be okay. And you can't live on the what ifs. You would never have pictured me standing at the side of the boards ready to step on the ice in front of 2 billion viewers saying, "What if I fall? What if I can't make it through? What if this happens? What if that happens?" And it's the same with all of you. What's going on right now? It's like, what if we don't survive? What if we, you know, what if we lose clients? What if we lose this? Try to keep yourself out of that space. You know, the what ifs is where we get ourselves into trouble. It's where we get emotionally in trouble. It's where we physically start to get sick and things like that. It's the what ifs. And I want you all in the industry that you're in is to try to keep that out of your vocabulary for the next few months. No more what ifs. It's going to be when we open, we're going to hit it hard and we're going to be successful and we're going to get customers and it's all going to be back to normal. So it's the changing of how you're thinking and how you're feeling, and whatever you bring out will happen. And that's where we need to all get. And, you know, Kelly said, you know, tell them about your whole story. And I think my whole story is about 3 hours long. So I didn't want to tell you, but I want to tell you a pinnacle part of it. You know, 4 years before the Olympic Games, I was at the lowest point of my life, and even, you know, suicidal. I was everything. And I suffered from mental health. And 4 years later, I was standing on the podium. And you don't recover when you go through these things. Like you still live with depression and anxiety, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be like that. You just have to learn how to live that way, and you can live a fulfilling, successful life. I'm the perfect example of it. And through that entire time of my life, which was, as you can imagine, devastating for my family, for myself and everything, the one common thing that was there for me was Ottawa. Ottawa never lost faith in me. Ottawa never treated me that differently. Ottawa didn't hold the stigma towards me. Ottawa did everything they could to help me regain my passion and my love and everything. You know, it's almost a little bit embarrassing. There's an arena and a park and everything named after me, but it is such an honor. And I couldn't be more prouder of this city and how it is, our people. You know, Kelly mentioned to you all now that I'm a life coach and executive coach, and I'm working with many clients here in Ottawa. And I'm now even working with the police association and working with officers. And, you know, we all need to work as a team. And you're in an industry where you all need to work as a team. I love the fact you guys are switching tables and you're talking and everything, but you all need to just support each other through these times. Without a team and without support, none of us can survive. So even if you're from BC or Quebec or Toronto or wherever you may be, you know, work as a team. And, you know, this city is got to be, I have traveled the world, and Ottawa is on the top of my list as one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And I am so proud to be a part of it. I'm so proud to represent it. And I'm so proud to be Ottawa's, I know they call me the sweetheart, but my husband calls me the sweet tart. But anyways, but I am so proud. And this is a beautiful city. And I want you all to be extremely positive on what's ahead. You know, one of the greatest things that you can, that I usually say, especially if I'm coaching people or even skaters, is, you know, why are you looking behind when we're going forwards? So try to be motivated and try to keep that focus going forwards. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't think that this is it. You know, you're going to lose your job or we're going to get no clients, things like, just don't give up. I mean, we're now pretty close. We're almost fully open right now. It just, you know, kind of the warm weather killed the canal, but you know, it's going to get cold again, trust me. But it's, you know what? I want you all to be very positive and motivated, and just get everybody here to Ottawa, because this city has so much to offer. I did a little tourism ad for everyone. I guess it was just about a month ago. And even I didn't realize we had over 240 outdoor rinks. You know, this is an active city. This city is alive. This city is beautiful. You know, there's so much in this city, and this city is so supportive, and so supportive of your organizations, bringing people in. They're very open, you know, to allow people to go to the Governor General's house, to go to Parliament, to do all those great tours. And there's so much to see here. And I just love it. And I hope that you will love it and continue to love it and be positive we're going to get back. I promise you that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Liz.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't going overtime for everybody.
Oh, you're good. That's perfect. And it was amazing. I actually learned some things I didn't know about you myself, actually. So again, reminder to anyone if anyone has any questions for Liz, to put them in the Q&A. I'm looking over those. So we have one. Someone saying, getting inspired daily is sometimes difficult when you are working at home alone. How do you motivate yourself every day?
Well, I'm actually now, and I'm probably one of the luckier ones that I'm in a career now where I do work from home, lockdown or no lockdown. And the thing is, I try really hard to balance my day. I try to keep normal hours and I take breaks. And the best part, and what's so great about this city, because, you know, I've lived in other cities, but what's so great about this city is there are so many incredible walking paths, things like that. So I take those breaks. I go out, I enjoy outside, I get a walk, even if it's for 10 minutes, just to kind of clear my mind. And that kind of will keep you motivated. Sitting at a desk on a computer and a screen all day and not having any social contact can be extremely difficult. You have to make yourself a priority. And you have to get up from that desk and you have to move around, you know, even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes, you got to balance yourself. You got to clear your brain, because it can be. And you know, what's the famous word? We all feel like it's Groundhog Day. And you know what? It is Groundhog Day. So I try really hard every day to do something different. I try to look outside the box. I am doing things that I never dreamt I would do. I'm meditating. I'm doing, you know, I'm actually about to start this craft project with, you know, beads and stuff like that for outside, you know, when the summer comes. I've even gone and walked alpacas. You know, it's just, I try to, you know, even just do something that's totally different and still keeping in the safety boundaries of distancing, social distancing and everything like that. And I've suggested that to people. Like, there are so many farms in the Ottawa region, and even wherever you may be, that offer that you can go walk their animals. And it's beautiful, you know, out in the snow, and you know, you could be walking a cow, you could be walking a horse, but you know, these are the things that will keep you feeling like you're still living. And that's the most important thing. You know, a lot of people are living, but they're not living right now. You've got to keep that living going, and you have to force yourself to just figure out some things that can be done.
Exactly. In 1988, you were made the member of the Order of Canada. What was that experience like?
That experience was, first of all, such a tremendous honor. I was on tour with Ice Capades when we got the call, and Ice Capades, being in the US, didn't really understand the importance of this award, and they weren't going to let me have the time off to go get it. And I remember I had to get so many people from back here in Ottawa, you know, important people, to like explain to them, like, this is a huge honor. So I was finally let go and was able to come receive it. It was just so exciting, such an honor. And I've even had the opportunity to meet the Queen. And that was such an experience. And that's what Ottawa is so great for. You know, you have royalty coming here. You have prime ministers and presidents coming here. And, you know, you have Barack Obama eating donuts down in the market. It's like, it's fantastic. You know, that's what I love about this city so much.
Great. There were people on here talking about how they remember seeing you win the silver medal and had tears in their eyes. And they're asking if you still skate.
I actually was skating, physically skating, up till about five years ago. Yeah, I was still old, because I wanted to create a show called Elizabeth Manley and Friends, which I produced to raise money for teen mental health, because I really wanted to focus in on that in our city, because, you know, kids are in this day and age with social media and everything and the bullying and so forth. And unfortunately, I won't get into a long story, but my last one I did, I got dropped 8.5 feet in the air on the ice on my back, and I broke my back. And that kind of put an end to it. And of course, me saying, you shouldn't have tried to skate when you were 50, you know? So I said, my own fault, right? But I'm still doing the odd coaching. I've slowly gotten out of that because I'm so passionate about life coaching and helping people and working with people. And if I do coach, obviously it's out at the Elizabeth Manley Arena in Gloucester.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think we have time for one more question before we run out. They're asking, what's the most fun thing about competitive figure skating, and what was the least fun thing about it?
I think the least fun thing about figure skating is being at this age and sounding like a coffee maker when I get out of bed. Everything sounds like everything is sore. You know, it's like everything is popping and everything. So I think that was probably my least favorite, was just, you know, experiencing those injuries and things like that. My favorite part about it was an escape for me. You know, when I was on that ice, I loved it, and I love entertaining people. And that's really kind of the skater I always was. You know, I wasn't one of these really serious, deep, you know, orchestrated music. You know, I skated at Olympics to the night they invented champagne from the movie Gigi. Like, I just, you know, I was an entertainer, and I think that was the best part of skating. And just meeting people from all over the world. It's very exciting to say that you have friends in, you know, in Germany and Switzerland and Russia and all these places. Like, I can honestly say I have friends all over the world, and that's pretty special. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope everyone learned some things, and this Elizabeth's talk will be on our website for anyone that missed it or had technical issues. And please keep an eye out for our invitation for our next Coffee Break Fam, which is on March 11th. So we'll be sending that out. But thank you very much, Liz. And
thank you, everyone. Enjoy.
Thank you. Bye.